Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. Establishing the first intergalactic university was an ambition that few could have foreseen when humanity first ventured beyond Earth's atmosphere. For millennia, the concept of higher education had been a cornerstone of human civilization, a means by which societies nurtured the intellect, creativity, and critical thinking of their young. It was an institution that helped propel humanity to the stars. But as humankind's presence spread throughout the galaxy, their desire for knowledge, for understanding the cosmos and the civilizations that occupied it, reached new heights. It was a natural extension of their curiosity and drive for progress that eventually led them to an unprecedented realization. The universe, vast as it was, contained an immense wealth of knowledge waiting to be uncovered. Yet, this knowledge could only be accessed and shared if there existed a central hub, a place where all civilizations, regardless of their origins, could come together to share their learning, exchange ideas, and build a collective future. The story of the first intergalactic university begins not with grandiose declarations or rapid technological advances, but with the quiet accumulation of wisdom over time. Humanity had long recognized the transformative power of education, from the earliest days of primitive tribal gatherings to the more structured, formalized systems of higher learning that emerged in the ancient civilizations. Schools, libraries, and universities became the beating hearts of cities, nurturing a constant flow of innovation and discovery. Yet, it was when humanity first began encountering alien species, each with its own history, language, culture, and knowledge, that the idea of a unified, universal educational institution began to take root. What they soon realized was that the vast expanses of the galaxy, with its many planets and civilizations, held an incredible array of wisdom and discoveries that were isolated by both physical and cultural boundaries. Initially, these early encounters were fraught with misunderstanding and miscommunication. Alien species, many of which were in various stages of development or had vastly different perspectives on knowledge, viewed humanity's desire to create a centralized academic institution as either naive or impractical. For many, the notion of universal collaboration in education seemed like an impossible dream. Some species were protective of their intellectual property, believing that their unique discoveries should remain their own. Others, whose histories were marked by distrust or even outright hostility, feared that such a shared space would become a tool for subjugation rather than enlightenment. However, the first seeds of what would eventually grow into the intergalactic university were sown in the realm of science and technology. As humanity advanced, so did its technological prowess, and it was only natural that this progress led to collaboration with other species who, though technologically more advanced or culturally different, shared a common interest in the pursuit of knowledge. Humans first began to work closely with other species on scientific and medical projects. These collaborations were initially small, focused on addressing local crises such as planetary environmental disasters, interspecies medical emergencies, or the restoration of dying ecosystems. Yet the successes of these efforts demonstrated that when species worked together, when knowledge was shared freely and without competition, they could overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. These early alliances proved transformative. What began as small-scale scientific collaboration soon grew into more formalized educational exchanges. Humans began inviting alien scholars to Earth and sending their own brightest minds to other worlds. Alien species brought their expertise in fields that humanity had never even imagined, and in return, human scientists offered their unique methods of inquiry, their tools, and their rapidly advancing understanding of the universe. Knowledge-sharing programs flourished, and an informal network of interspecies academic cooperation began to take shape. It wasn't an institution in the formal sense, but it was a beginning, a shared recognition that there was more to learn from one another than any one civilization could ever know on its own. The tipping point came when a series of galactic crises prompted species across the galaxy to come together to tackle common problems. The galaxy had faced numerous challenges, conflicts over resources, natural disasters, and the sudden emergence of new diseases, and many had recognized that isolated efforts were insufficient. One such crisis, which involved a deadly interplanetary plague, demanded the combined efforts of multiple species. In this time of desperation, human scientists proposed that a centralized space be created where representatives from different species could collaborate on research, share information, and develop solutions. It was a radical idea, one that transcended the traditional boundaries of political alliances and rivalries, but it was one that resonated deeply with many. The plague was eventually contained and eradicated not by one species alone, but through a coordinated effort facilitated by this burgeoning intellectual network. In the aftermath of the plague, the idea of creating a formalized institution dedicated to the pursuit of universal knowledge gained traction. What began as a response to a crisis soon morphed into a long-term vision. The time had come, many agreed, for an institution that would transcend the limits of individual planets and species, a central hub where knowledge could flow freely, without the barriers of isolationism, national pride, or fear of exploitation. This would not be a university of one species, but of all sentient beings, a place where all could come together in the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. The first steps toward the establishment of the first intergalactic university were slow and fraught with challenges. The logistics of such an ambitious project were daunting. The university would need to be a neutral space, free from the political entanglements and rivalries that had long defined galactic governance. Furthermore, it would need to be a place where all species, regardless of their level of technological or cultural development, felt welcome and equal. In these early discussions, humanity found itself in the role of a facilitator, a unifier, more than a leader. Human diplomats and scholars worked tirelessly with alien counterparts to establish common ground, drafting a shared vision of what the intergalactic university could be. The construction of the university itself was an enormous undertaking. A planet was chosen, one that was centrally located in a neutral area of the galaxy, far from any contentious borders or disputed territories. It was a place where no species had historical claims and where cooperation would be the primary focus. Over the span of several years, a vast and technologically sophisticated campus began to take shape. It was an architectural marvel, designed to accommodate beings of all shapes and sizes. There were buildings with gravity-neutral chambers for those who hailed from planets with stronger gravitational fields. Vast spaces designed for species that communicated through sound frequencies, and lecture halls equipped to cater to a variety of sensory needs. The university was not merely a physical structure, but a symbol of what was possible when species set aside their differences and worked toward a common goal. Once the university was built, the next step was to create a curriculum that would reflect the vast and diverse range of knowledge across the galaxy. This was no small task, for it required not only gathering the brightest minds from a multitude of species, but also developing a unified framework for the exchange of ideas. The curriculum would be expansive, covering not only the sciences and humanities, but also the cultural, philosophical, and artistic achievements of countless civilizations. It would not be an institution that prioritized one species' knowledge over another, but one that celebrated diversity, inclusivity, and the value of cross-cultural exchange. At the heart of the Intergalactic University was the idea that education should be a transformative, shared experience, one that not only imparted knowledge, but also fostered empathy, cooperation, and mutual respect among species. It was a place where students from all corners of the galaxy would come not only to learn facts and theories, but also to learn how to live together, how to communicate across boundaries of language, culture, and biology, and how to collaborate on solving the galaxy's most pressing challenges. It would not just be a center of academic learning, it would be a laboratory for interspecies understanding and cooperation. The opening of the first Intergalactic University was a historic event, one that was met with both excitement and trepidation. It was a moment that underscored the immense potential of the galaxy, a testament to what could be achieved when beings set aside their differences and worked together toward a common cause. The inaugural ceremony was attended by representatives from every known species, each one bringing their own knowledge, customs, and traditions to the event. The ceremony itself was a grand fusion of art, music, and philosophy, a representation of the diversity that the university aimed to celebrate. Each species shared something unique, be it a song, a poem, or a piece of technology, demonstrating how much could be gained from the exchange of ideas and perspectives. As the university began to take on students, the true power of its existence began to unfold. Beings who had once lived in isolation now studied side by side. Researchers from worlds separated by vast distances collaborated on projects that bridged the gaps between biology, technology, and philosophy. The university became a beacon of hope, a place where conflicts were set aside in the pursuit of knowledge and a better future for all. And with every passing year, as more species enrolled and more knowledge was shared, the Intergalactic University fulfilled its mission to become a true hub of learning, a symbol of unity and a testament to the power of education in shaping a better galaxy. The creation of the first Intergalactic University was not the end of humanity's journey, but the beginning of a new chapter. It was a moment that reshaped the very nature of what it meant to be a sentient being in a galaxy filled with endless possibilities. It reminded all that knowledge, when shared and nurtured, had the power to heal wounds, to foster peace, and to create a collective future. Humanity had taken its first step toward becoming not just a part of the galaxy, but a force for good and embodiment of the idea that education is not just the accumulation of facts, but the creation of connections that bind all beings together. And in this spirit, the first Intergalactic University would remain a beacon for all who sought to learn, to grow, and to change the galaxy for the better.